Hello. So, to what extent do the participants in the video discussion seem to be seeking a better understanding to the issue? And to what extent do they seem to be trying to defend their own position on the issue? Um, well, each participant, which is Mika, Joe, Nicholas, and Mike, have a hard time understanding why it's there's so many school shootings or so many mass shootings in the world. They were stating how there's been only 207 days within the year when this video came out, and there's been at least 100. I think that's how much they mentioned. They don't understand how much, like, what they can do. I'm sorry. Mika, she pretty much just tries to state the fact that she doesn't understand how somebody can be allowed to own those that many guns. That's when Mike starts saying, like, there's nothing, like, nothing that stops anybody, no matter what age. It's not if you're too young, it's not if you're too old. It doesn't matter how many guns you are, it's the way that you do it. And Joe starts stating that, this guy, what he did, he knew what he was doing. He read through the articles, he read through the laws, through the books of how to get guns. And Nicholas jumps in to state, to help the statement even better by saying he followed the rules in order to own a weapon. He says that, there's hundreds of shootings a year, and like maybe one bill may stop certain shootings, but it won't be all of them because of how much this issue is that you can't just take guns away from somebody. And Joe does mention that we do have a Second Amendment, and that's what protects people with guns to own them. So the next question was that if they were defending their own position on this issue. I believe that Joe was defending his position on this issue, which was pretty much just trying to get out there and make points like there's no easy answers for this. It's really hard to understand why there still hasn't been anything done much about school shootings. And I read this little part on the asking the right questions where it caught my eye, where it says, our brains often fail us as we try to handle our messy, confusing world. This is where I understand because Mika does get confused, and she does not know how to take this, conflict and find a solution. So she gets frustrated. Her brain pretty much just, blocked this out, and there's really nothing you can do. And that's what she thought. She's like, well, is there nothing we can do? Joe says maybe there is, and that's when the legislation and would have to come in and say, like, what laws are you going to pass to stop from school shootings? Like, what laws can they pass, especially like, is it going to be like slowly accessing to gun? Would that be the answer? These are questions that they kept asking, like, can the legislation prevent future killings and stuff? And it was answers that are so hard. I mean, sorry, it's questions that are so hard to answer that not even the experts can. And I read that again from the asking the right questions there too. So, pretty much the questions that they would answer just to try to understand this topic more would just lead to nowhere because they all had a little backup into they can't really do anything. It's all on the person. The second one is, does their goal seem to be defeat the argument or those who they disagree on those who they disagree, I'm sorry, or to achieve a greater understanding on the issues and the arguments? well, I believe that they were actually just trying to get each other to understand the issue better, um, because they did agree that gun shootings, school shootings are crazy, and how the guys are just trying to get attention by doing all the school shooting and stuff. So they did agree on that. They did try to make each other understand. Like Joe was giving out good points and stuff, and Nicholas was there backing them up. Um, Mika just couldn't understand what could have been done. What can they do? They did get a little um, at each other where they wanted to be right. They just wanted to make a good point. However, Joe was constantly telling her, like, I'm on your side. I believe guns are bad. However, what can we do to stop them? So I just believe that, they were arguing, but to make each other understand. At the end, I don't think that they got anywhere other than, back where they started, which is trying to understand how they can stop school shootings and how they can slowly make laws pass for the gun control. That's all I have for this video. Thank you. Goodbye.